I'll tell his story, and he's still a brown beret.
He's still a brown beret, right?
Yes.
Go on.
Still a brown beret.
Go a little closer.
Hi, my name's Felix, and I was shot on January 31st in a corner of Wheeler, and which was well that time was Medic, not the January, Arizona, and the sheriff who shot me was the sergeant. He was aiming straight at me. I had my hands up, shot me in the leg first. And the second time it came back again, I had my hands up. This time it's the same sheriff, the same sergeant, pointing, and then he saw the bullet hit me. He came straight at me. That's when it went like this, hit me through here, it went through my neck, and I went backwards, and there was two guys that were there to help me out. This is two people I always want to see again, but I haven't never seen them again. But they're the ones that helped me out. They're still the ones that took care of me when I was laying on the ground. But I had no help, no ambulance came, no paramedics came to help me out. Nobody can help me. But I don't know who carried me to the ambulance, and I remember going to the hospital, and that's another story. Now I don't want to say what happened right there, what happened there. But I'm here. I'm still here. I'm still happy to be here to tell you my story, and I survived. I just want to say thanks very much. I want to thank Dave for having me being here. Thank you, David.
All right, Felix. All right, that was Felix Calina. His name will go into the history books, especially in Chicano studies. Also, Arlene, she was there. Can you tell us what you saw, Arlene?
Hernandez.
Arlene Hernandez, welcome.
So by happenstance, right? Sometimes you're in the wrong place or in the right place, and that's what happened on that particular day. So I happened to be at a hardware store that's right there on Arizona. It's actually on Whittier in Arizona, and with my child. He was like 1 year old at the time. What had happened, what I saw was a march. Of course, in a march of that magnitude, people are ready to, and I don't want to say defend in a negative way, but to defend what they're marching for. And that's what I saw. And then what happened, which was really, it took me back, was that the police were on the south side of Whittier Boulevard as the marchers were going by, and they actually were provoking the marchers. The marchers were not provoking the police at that particular. The next thing you know, they cross. Well, that's possible because a little bit, but they actually were beating on some of the marchers with their clubs. And the marchers were trying to say like, hey, that's not what we're here for. But as you know, the end of the story, it got worse. So happenstance, sometimes you drive by and you see something. I only wish that at that time, like we have now, a camera. We could have taken it, we would have taken, as they say, names. And you would have had the names of the police officers who were actually not doing their job.
Okay, so I think it's really important to remember that day. Es una día de la historia. En enero 31, 1971, cuando la policía es una masacre, a la policía mata a 2 personas y 35 heridos. Es muy importante porque la policía no tiene derecho para usar los pistoles y los rifles. Okay, now I would like to introduce Rosie. You can come up, Rosie, and I want you to introduce Araceli.
Hello, everybody. I'm happy that you guys came. And I'm happy that we're all here, to remember this causa that we went through. And I also want this to be recorded for the future generations, for the Chicanos, Mexicans, for them all to remember what people go through in protest, to defend their rights and to be able to speak out. You have to. You can't just sit back and that's it. So we got to stick together and keep on the fight. But I want to introduce Araceli. She's an activist for the community of East LA, and she does so much work. Thank you, Araceli.
Como dice Rosy, mi nombre es Araceli Kawich y soy una activista para la comunidad de Boyle Heights y para otras comunidades también que necesitan de mi soporte. Y voy a platicar un poquito de algo que alguien me escribió y me gustaría compartirlo con ustedes. Compañeros y compañeras, hace más de medio siglo, César Chávez le escribió al presidente Roosevelt y le dijo: el color de nuestra piel, los idiomas de nuestros orígenes culturales y nativos, la falta de educación formal, la exclusión del proceso democrático, el número de nuestros muertos en guerras recientes, todas esas cargas, generación tras generación, han buscado desmoralizarnos. No somos implementos agrícolas, ni esclavos alquilados, somos hombres.
Okay, I'm just going to say a few words in regards to the picture, the entire picture of the Southwest. Of course, there's something like, not just the Southwest, but across the country, there's like 50 million Mexican Americans, Chicanos. There's Mexican Americans and Chicanos, it's the same thing. And we are being discriminated against. We are being unjustly treated in the jobs, in the schools, in the streets. For example, 1,000 Mexican Americans and Raza have been killed over the last 5 years because people resist arrest. And that's very important that we must teach our young people is not to resist arrest, because if you resist arrest in America today, they will kill you. You know, so that's why it's important to let our people know not to resist arrest, because 1,000 people died because they resisted. Our resistance, they should live, better to live another day and fight another day rather than being taken away or tangling with the police who will kill you. The other thing I think is important is the education. We need to educate our community. There are so many of us. Today there's 5 million students, Mexican American students in California schools. And so we cannot let those 5 million students become cops or become in denial or hate us or hate their own raza. And that's what we get over and over again wherever we go, restaurants or wherever we go. There's our own raza is treating us bad, our own raza is looking at us bad, our own raza is talking bad about us. So we cannot have that kind of behavior. And that's why it's so important. It's so important to educate our people. Chicano education is so important because there's so many of us and we're not united. We should have power in this country. We have no choose, no say-so in this country. And that's why we have the Brown Berets. The Brown Berets is a nonviolence organization. We understand that we do not need to break the law to get ahead. We're a progress organization. We're a reform organization. We've been doing this for 50 years, and we've been very successful. Probably the most powerful and most successful organization has been the Brown Beret National Party. And let's give the Brown Beret National Party a thanks, a hand. All right, viva the Brown Beret National Power. Chicano! Power! Chicano! Power! Chicano! Power! Chicano! Power! So therefore, it's really important to look at the issues. You know, the issues are what is holding us back, what is holding us down. We have no Chicano politicians. What happened there? Why don't we have any Chicano politicians?
They're corrupted.
Because the ones who are in office, they're not part of us. They're part of somebody else's plan. These representatives are not our representatives. So
Thank you, Brown Berets, for allowing me to speak at your event. It's an honor for me to be here. I was 9 years old. By the way, my name's Danny Flores. I'm also an artist. I'm the one who painted this picture right here. Of course, at the request of my sister, Gracie Flores Diaz, who asked me to paint it for the Brown Berets movement. I want you to know that when I was walking to school one day, I was 9 years old, 50 years ago from today, and a police officer pulled me over, and he asked me what I was doing. I said, I'm going to school. And he said, come over here. And he got out of the car, and he started searching me. Just went through my pockets, and then he asked me, who are you related to? And I said, I have my brother. He goes, who's your brother? And I said, his name's David Flores. And I have another brother, and right when I said David Flores, he lifted up my arms sleeves and he checked to see if I had any poke holes, of using heroin. And I looked at him because I was real small. I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just checking to see if you're using. I said, I'm 9 years old, and I had a Mickey Mouse shirt on. And I kind of thought, dude, what are you thinking? Like, I'm 9 years old. And that was when I was 9 years old, and it didn't stop like that happened to me almost every single day of my entire life.
Okay, I'm just going to offer a little closure right now because it is getting late. I'd just like to thank everybody for coming. Thank you very much, Ralph Ramirez, for coming out here from Orange County. Thank you very much. Felix, thank you for coming out here. Arlene, thank you, our eyewitnesses. And let's make sure that this does not ever happen again, that our people are not continuously to be massacred. Make sure that our people are not continuously to be shot in the streets just because they resist arrest. I mean, in many cases, when someone pulls out a knife, they kill them. They can just shoot at their legs. No, they kill the raza. And so the killing continues on, but also the killing of the minds in the schools. Many of our young people are facing terrorism. Many of our students are terrorized in the schools. Because when you take their culture away, you're terrorizing that student. When you take their identity away, you're terrorizing that student. So that's why it's important that we continue the struggle, that we continue the fight for La Raza. Viva La Raza! Brown Berets! Chicano! 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 Chicano!